is just an explanation of our static image task, and the resource title here is Making Music, so I'm just going to skim through and talk to some of the details in this. It's probably a bit longer than it needs to be. Let's have a look here. Here are our guidelines. We prepare and present a CD cover. It includes the back cover as well. That portrays a theme or important idea in a text that you've studied. And like I said, look, our novel that we've studied has been the Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. But you can choose any other texts that you've looked at for our response to text, and you've looked at, probably 6 different texts there. So you can choose one of those as well. Let's look at what we're going to do here. Okay, there's a bit of stuff. We're going to hope we're going to get through this stuff in a day, perhaps. Now, resources, I will have paper, I'll have pencils, coloured this and that, felts, colouring pencils, if you're wanting to use paper to do this. You can also do it, digitally, and I've also included in this, in the teaching stuff, there'll be an explanation of how to use Google Drawing and Polyline to create images. You may also use photographs, but I don't want any photographs just used off the web unaltered. You've got to do some stuff to them. We're going to be looking at some of these things as well: color, layout, shape, symbolism, lettering, texture. Some of it will need a brief explanation. Other stuff you should be familiar with. We'll talk a little bit about different, ways of framing, the rule of thirds, probably stuff that's also relevant to our visual text that we're going to study later on, such as, close-up, mid-shots, establishing shots, and things like, angles such as low and high angle. Here is a very brief look at the assessment criteria. There's a bit more later on, so we'll probably have a bit of a look at that. Okay, here are the instructions. You've got to create a CD cover that develops an idea about the text you've studied, and this can be a very simple idea. Okay, imagine a music soundtrack is made to accompany the text. You're going to create the cover front and back for that CD. You've got to decide the style or genre of music most appropriate. You've got to include a list of 8 to 10 song titles on the back cover, which must be derived from quotations from the text. So they don't necessarily have to be the exact quotation, but an approximation of it, and support your main idea. You've got to have a title for the album, and your CD cover must use colors, font, layout, and imagery that reflect the style or genre that you've decided to use. And of course, here is a bit more, your static image must develop and structure your ideas. It's appropriate to the audience. It uses visual and verbal language features. So the verbal language features are our quotes, and our visual language features are things like symbolism, color. Use visual verbal language features with control to command attention. That's our excellence sort of exemplar. Planning. Okay, we're going to start with a bit of an explanation of what we want to do, which is a statement of intent. Okay, and then that's sort of loosely what we're going to follow to create our static image. So you brainstorm elements, images, colors, fonts, symbols, mediums, suitable song titles, and you're going to put those together. You're going to have a draft and a final, a final copy. And here is some stuff about the statement of intent and evidence or judgments for achieved merit and excellence. While these are excerpts from the statement of intent, these are not the actual covers. And so I'll have a bit of stuff there that looks at examples of student work, and we'll also look at some actual album covers to get us started and give us a bit of an idea. So that's our explanation of the task. Read through it. Your most important sort of information is here, the student instructions.